we were coming to the Apollo Theater, and James Brown was closing that particular Sunday, but we got there early. And back in the day, what happened at the Apollo, if the audience liked you, they let you continue. But if they didn't like you while you were performing, this huge hook came out and would draw you to the curtain, and the crowd would go crazy. So, of course, we had heard about that, and we were scared to death just knowing that we were going to get the hook.
Right.
We asked, could we speak to James Brown, and he told him yes. The guy told us, said, when you go up and meet Mr. Brown, make sure you say Mr. Brown. Don't go in there talking about James Brown.
Or James. Oh, my God.
But anyway, we told him how, so we got to meet with him, and he was a gentleman. He said we were just starting out. He said, do not be afraid. Go out there and do your act, hook or no hook. Forget about the hook. Just do what you came here to do. And if they like you, you ain't got to worry about the hook.
Right.
So he relieved us greatly because we were shaking at the knees. We just knew we were going to be yanked off stage. But surprisingly, we didn't get yanked off stage. And that was our first meeting with your father, James Brown.
Wow, that's a great story. Thank you for sharing it.
So I was looking up, and you guys actually was your first studio recording released in 1969. Am I correct?
69 or 68.
68?
Yeah. What was the recording? Does it have the name of it?
No, they were just saying that you started, did you start in 1964? Because sometimes Wikipedia be wrong, so I just need to ask the source.
When did y'all start?
Yeah, that's right.
1964.
Wow. So how do you feel about being in the business for like 50 years? How do you feel about that?
54 years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that is, we're truly blessed. We never dreamed we'd be around this long. If anybody had told us, we'd have said they were joking. But yeah, we've been singing 54 years.
Are you guys still performing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we performed until the pandemic came along. We performed about 8 months out of the year. Yeah,
wow, y'all working.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you only get this talent once, so you got to use it while you can.
That is incredibly awesome. So given the fact that you guys have been able to have such incredible longevity in your careers, yes. What do you say about, I guess, today's R&B, or is there even a today's R&B?
Question.
You have to answer that one. I don't know who wants to take that one. But I don't think, I've always said that today is different than when we came up. I mean, like Walter was saying, we have a 54-year career. OJs are right in there with 50 plus years. You say the Delphonics, the Stop Moments, all of those people have long 40, 50-year careers. I don't think you're ever going to see that again, period, because of the way things are with the youth today, and it's just the way they do it. It's kind of like fast food for them. They're always moving to the next new thing. So I don't think you'll have that. Now, I'm not saying that some of the acts that are out there today aren't great acts. There's some wonderful acts out there. And there's some that like Boyz II Men. We love them. Joe, he's an awesome vocalist. Usher, awesome. Of course, those people, they're great. But whether or not they'll have 50 years in the business, it's hard to say because, kids are always looking for the next new thing.
And I think it has a lot to do with the information age, right? Because everything is given so instantaneous, and it's like information overload or whatever. And you can kind of see, not necessarily a burnout, but I guess kind of a burnout, a little earlier, because you're constantly, it's just like you're fed the information over and over again, all the time. I think and you have access to it everywhere, right? Streaming.
Oh yeah, no question about it. But you know what? A little different. I think in today's day and age, the females have come forward, and I think they are going to have a 50-year career. I look at Alicia Keys and Beyonce. I watch them. They've evolved and developed into the next level. They're producing. They both can act whenever they want to. So the longevity, in fact, I think the females have come to the forefront of what's happened to the males. The young guys are great, But when you watch these two young ladies, their career, I mean, they're now into acting. They own everything, you know, and they're gonna be here. If they're not here, we're gonna be talking about them 50 years later anyway. I guarantee you that.
Right.
They're a legend. I mean, so the talent out there today is incredible, in my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, the access to be able to do things outside of just music is incredible now for these young acts. Yeah, it's pretty amazing that you guys have still performing. I know when I think about Dad, and I don't know, Heather, you can probably attest to this as well, when he had dates lined up for right before he passed. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
Right.
I said he was never going to stop, and he basically didn't. And so I think that's just a testament to, like Heather said, to your great talent and just great career.
Well, like I was, of course, you know, I always look at statistics and stuff. So I was looking things up. You guys,
Miss
like literally,
Statistics.
yes, they tease me about this. But so 33 top 10 hits, 20 Billboard charted albums. Like you've been sampled over 131 times. Like these are the things that I looked at. Like, I mean, that's,
Oh, well, let's talk about the sample thing. What's the most sampled song people want to sample from y'all?
Well, you know, I hear all kind of samples. I hear Olivia, Rocksteady, and the Beat. I mean, they sample us a lot. You know,
It's
she's
a
right
love
about
thing.
that. It's a love thing. Yeah.
You educating us whether you know it or not. Some of this, we got to be honest enough to tell you that some of this stuff we didn't realize ourselves until it was told to us. You know, when you're busy doing it, you don't really look back and, you know, the generation we come from, they didn't even keep stats. You know, so we're just happy to hear that we were able to do whatever we could do, and we're still here.
Yeah. Amen.
well, I mean, I think that's a testament to being an impactful artist. You know what I mean? Like that you can affect and over generations. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I no lie, like I still work out to you guys' songs. Like it's just, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter that it was, you know, whenever it was. It's just quality is quality.
Right.
So
Y'all saw I was still jamming.
yeah, that'll always kind of stand the test of time. How did you guys, because both of our fathers have been sampled a lot. So how do you guys feel about being sampled? Because some artists feel a particular way, you know, have very specific feelings about it.
I feel this way. Thank God for SoundScan. When you're being sampled, you're being paid. So,
Amen to that.
it's an incredible. I mean, you know, we've come a long way with the internet and the technology. Thank God now we're in an age where that can't be missed. In your dad's generation, which was ours also, and a little bit before that, none of that took place. I mean, your dad, they got their due, but there were people like Little Richard before them that had this tremendous content out and never got paid for it. So now we've come to, you know, a day to where all that can be computed and you're paid for it, and that's the way it should be. And like you just said, if it's quality, it's gonna stand the test of time.
Right. And what I say to people that's still trying to use people's stuff for nothing, you lost your mind. If you take time to create something, I mean, I'm just being real. You just like everybody else, you create something. So if you want to use somebody's music, you pay for it. That's just it. That's only fair.
Absolutely.
You should.
Absolutely. Yeah, no question.
So am I to understand that the last album you guys released was in 2006? So we have,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, for your ears only. Yeah,
That's right.
that's the
so
last.
that was 2006. So now, you know, we're here because you guys have an incredible new single called How Long? So it's been literally 14 years since your last release, correct?
Right.
So
Yeah.
during the 14 years, you've still been out there on the road, you know, entertaining the masses, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what sparked the desire to put this particular single out?
Let me start out by saying that the title of the song is called How Long? And what the Whispers are doing, we're asking a very simple question. How long are we going to have to go through this crap as Black people that we're going through? In over 54 years, it's not the first time we've seen this kind of crap in our career. Back in 1960, '64, we had a record called Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong Before They Notice Me. Same thing. Here we come, fast forward to today. And what we originally started to do before this record came about, we were going to do our regular sort of standard whisper type, song until we saw Floyd with a knee in his neck. And when we saw that, we said, no, it's time to talk about change, and we got enough Floyd. We done ran out of names with black people, men and women who died. And we haven't been treated right, and we're still not being treated right. That's what this record is all about. It's asking the question, how long do you want us to go through this? And we think we actually have the answer. Now, it might be too simple for some people, but it's one word, L-O-V-E, love. Love will save the day if you allow it. But, if that's a little too corny for you or you can't understand it, then you figure out how to do that. But that's what this record is all about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's funny that you say that. Dad used to say, actually, before he passed, let's talk about love. Let's talk about love. I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. Love will save the day, because if we have true love for one another, then a lot of this wouldn't be going on.
But what your dad also said, and he was such a leader, he and Isaac Hayes, he also said that I'm black and I'm proud. And when he said that, the black community heard it. And it wasn't the first time that we were hip to message music, because your dad was doing it all of his life. But as a people, we seem to kind of be scattered. And now we fast forward to today, and I'm looking on television and I see black, white, Asian, everybody is marching.
Yes.
Everybody wants to take part. So that's why we said, you know what? We need to make a statement also. We need to take this opportunity, because I think it's right now for the whole world to understand that there is police brutality. Black people have this damage. So you can express it however you want. We're expressing it in this song. We're asking, how long are we going to continue to do this? And if you want to try to change it, love the next person to you. You ain't got to argue and fight. Just love them. That's what this song is about.
The connection to this is that it's because of what it's on. You never want anybody to die, period, to start a protest or start something new happening. But, what Floyd has done actually opened the eyes finally to some people. And now, as you know, I always say this, back in the time when we had the riots back in the 60s, there was nothing but black people on the street rioting. If there was a white person or anybody or a brown person, they would have gotten killed out there at that time when we were rioting. Today, it's another going on. It's, you see all spectrums of the people out there: white people, black people, yellow people. They're all out there. The millennials are taking over. This movement now is the most incredible movement that I've ever seen, and I think now we can actually look forward to seriously having change, because when have you ever seen this? I mean, even down to to different monuments that we've basically tolerated, but now awareness is coming to the fact that, these different people, Jefferson, Washington, they were slave owners. And now, because of millennials and this protest and everything that's going on, people finally are seeing the insult that we're having to persevere every day.
These young people ain't having it. They not walking around looking at this stuff.
But I think it's because they're more equipped to information. You know what I mean? Like when I think about history books, I just was told that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. You know what I mean? So when you dig into really finding out who these people were, then it's something completely different.
Different story.
Yeah. So millennials, they have access to Google and they're being educated completely differently. And so therefore they know the truth. And so this is why these statues and these monuments are finally coming down, because it's not something that needs to be celebrated, so I totally understand it, but it's interesting because you guys are from Watts, California.
Right. Yeah. Brought up in Watts. Yeah. South Central.
So how crazy was it for you were you around for the Watts riots?
Believe it or not, I got drafted to Vietnam. I got drafted in April of '65. The Watts riots took place in 1965. and I was in Vietnam the whole year of 1966. So I got to watch the riots from Vietnam. That's where I was
Wow.
when it took place. Of course, my brother and Lavelle, that they were involved in it. But when I got home, I became like everybody else. I got right involved in it. But yeah, I didn't get to actually be in it. I was in the Army at the time.
Well, I was in it, me and my mother. The only difference between the three of us, me and my brother Walt, we lived in the projects, and Lavelle is the only one of us that lived in a house. And so me and my mother, I remember being under the bed during the watch riots. Because, when they brought in the troops and some people was, I hate to say this, going in, taking television. You saw a brother walking down the street with a whole mattress on his head. I mean, that sort of thing is what actually took place.
Right.
Right in the middle of it. So that's why I'm saying this is not the first time. We've just been reminded, as far as I'm concerned, that we were mistreated back then and we're still being mistreated today.
That's right.
So when they say Black Lives Matter, that's just the God's truth. We're not trying. Now they say all lives matter, but there is a difference. All lives matter will never get a knee in their neck. You understand what I'm saying? That'll never happen to them. If you black, you not only will get a knee in your neck, I don't have to tell you what else will happen to you. Mm-hmm. So that's what Black Lives Matter is all about, and it's time for a change. And
all lives don't matter until Black Lives matter.
Then when you include us, then you can say all lives matter.
Right. Exactly.
So when this record opens up, our new record, it says it's time. First thing you're gonna hear, it's time for a change. And then the rest, if you can read and you can look, you'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're trying to change the wrong to right. But like Heather said, the young people now have quick access. This is so great. This is why the change is happening. When we came along, there was no Google. You couldn't go to your phone and look up nothing. Right now, you can go to your phone and in 3 seconds, you can have information that you never dreamed that was there. And that's just an incredible asset. So the world is changing before our very eyes. And it ain't nothing that nobody can do about it.
That's right. That's right. I tell you one thing, my sister, Deanna and I started James Brown Family Foundation when Dad passed, about continuing music education. And then my sister started what's called JAMP, James Brown Academy of Music Pupils, which is geared towards young children and making sure they are brought up with music and learning instruments and not just computers and other stuff like that. But it's amazing what we can even see get transformed with those young kids just through music. So it's so much going on in this world, right? And so many different ways that we can change things. And the kids are our future.
Absolutely.
Well, the two of you guys should be extremely proud because your dads, both of your dads, Isaac Hayes back in the Watch riots, he was there also. He was out there watching like him and Dick Gregory. I mean, I don't know if you were back there, if you were born there.
No, they might not even.
You might not even.
72.
Yeah, well, but you could be proud of knowing that your dad, he wasn't just talking about it, he was doing it.
Yeah.
Your father, James Brown, he said, "Open up the door and I'll get it myself." That's what it's really all about.
That's what my dad, he told us, me and Scotty, it was only two of us. We have no other brothers and sisters. But my dad, his pet peeve, he never wanted to be perceived as wanting something for nothing. He told us all the time, I don't want something for nothing. I want to earn what I do. Don't give me nothing. And that's what James Brown said, open up the door and I'll do it myself. So basically they were at an early age doing the right thing. It just didn't get access like it should. Today, if you do it, everybody can see it 30 seconds later.
Yeah, that's very true. So what do you guys, outside of, because it's COVID now, so nobody can really work, but what do you guys have coming up besides this new single? And incidentally, part of the proceeds of this single will be going to donated to economic and social justice programs, correct? Am I correct in that?
That's
okay,
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She did her own work, girl. You ain't playing.
Yeah.
But we try to give thorough interviews. We try to do our research.
Yeah, I was trying not to get too caught up in my excitement of being able to talk to you guys. So I was like, well, let me just read something so I know what I'm talking about.
No, but we were in the process before How Long was written and came out. We were in the process of trying to come out with something new that would be the standard Whisper love song. And we have 3 or 4 songs that we were planning on trying to release in the year 2020, but the pandemic put a stop to everything, to be honest with you. And so basically what happened, the guy that wrote this song, How Long, when we heard these lyrics, we said, man, this is our way of speaking right now. We got to put
Right.
other stuff on the shelf. So we really in the middle of it. I mean, he lives in the guy that wrote this, his name is David Mendez. He happens to play bass in our band, but he lives in Atlanta. So we were trying to get him on a plane at the time. He was afraid to get on the plane, but he did manage. And Lavelle lives in Las Vegas,
And he was afraid to get on
and
the plane.
he didn't want to get on the plane. So Lavelle drove here to L.A. and we ended up doing this record in Scotty's garage. We doing it with mask on. I'd sing my part, put the mask back on. Scotty would sing his part, take the mask off and put it back on, because we really wanted to get this record out right now. So we got it done, and hopefully people will hear it and be excited about it.
Well, hopefully we can get some of them love songs too, because we want some of those, and maybe y'all can do it. And we can find a technological way to do it next time. Y'all don't have to do it.
Oh no, that's coming, believe me, because that's we got to be who we are. Yeah.
We need those love songs though too, because a lot of us are hurting like that, and we need healing that way as well.
Yeah, no, they're coming. I guarantee you. I don't know if this year they're going to come. I don't really think this year shut everybody down.
It
I
did.
So
that we'll be on stage this year anywhere.
that's what I was getting ready to ask you. So you think it's a wash for live performances for this entire year, for the rest of the year?
I think I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it is, because I just don't see people having enough confidence to get into a building, like we do. We have, when our concerts is not 50%, we're trying to get 100% in there.
Yeah.
And you just can't
Right.
do it. Like you said,
Well,
playing is scary,
the other side is that there are people that have done concerts, but there've been concerts like just recently in Vegas. They did a concert in a drive-in theater type concert, and people drove up in their cars and lined up and in front of the stage, and they partied like it was 1999 right there and maintained the social distancing. So that seems to be where people are trying to make it go now, is to do some of those kind of things in outdoor venues that, they can kind of halfway maintain the social distancing. They know that people inherently are not going to stay away from one another, and they're going to party and they're going to dance. They keep them in their cars. That seems to be working. So right now they've already done, I think it's 4 different concerts that way, and the reaction to them, people were excited. They were just glad to get out of their house and see music, because music is such a healing thing right now. Like, like you said, a love song, if you hear a certain love song, it can heal that spirit that you're going through, or remind you of a loved one that passed away. I mean, it can remind you of a lot of things. It just has that spirit, and people want to hear music. So they'll take it even if they have to sit in their car like a drive-in theater.
You're absolutely right. My nephew is out in LA, and he did something in the desert called social deserting, where it was more of, because he's young, he's a millennial, but he's a DJ also, and a filmmaker. But he just took that whole in your car partying, one DJ, but everybody's in their car. And now the concerts are born. You can't stop music. People gonna find a way to get their music.
Find a way.
Well, here's another thing. We're in the United States of America, where the mighty dollar speaks louder than all of us. They're going to figure out a way to get it done. It's only a matter of time. In the meantime, we just basically going to wait. As long as we don't have to kill ourselves, you don't have to worry about it. But when they figure it out, we'll be there.
Well, so I have to ask a question. So when they do figure it out and you guys come to Atlanta, I hope and pray you guys will allow me and Yama to come and witness the greatness of the Whispers.
Front row seat, both of you.
We can't wait to get
You don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Well, look, y'all know Heather has her own band, so she in the music industry, and I know she can't wait to get back on stage. So maybe she can be one of y'all background. I don't sing, but I can dance.
How many pieces in your band?
11. It's 11 of us. It's a big band. Yeah, I have a big. It's a show. Yeah, for sure.
We got a show like we do. Yeah, we have 8 pieces too. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have 11. So yeah, I've been off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
mind, you know, your last name is Hayes and your last name is Brown. So you know what that means. Y'all don't want to say it, but we'll say
Yeah,
it.
you ain't gotta worry.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I just want to thank you guys.
That's our interview.
Yeah, thank you so much, so much for sharing the incredible stories and the insight to your 54-year career. And I'm glad that I did my research.
Yes.
I want everybody, all of our listeners, to go out and make sure it's all on all social media platforms. It's on all digital platforms.
Yep.
The Whispers' new single, How Long, and you guys, it's for a great cause as well as great music. But the part of the proceeds actually are being donated to economic and social justice programs. So you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with the Soul Sisters.
Thank you, guys.
Yama and Heather. Look at these two young, beautiful young ladies.
Thank
Boy,
you.
I don't know how
Thank
proud
you.
we are of you guys. Let me
Thank
tell
you
you.
so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you for being on again. And we're going out.
absolutely.
We're going out with How Long, I'm hoping.
There you go.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
You guys, take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay.